Right now, the average person your age has already checked their phone 47 times today. Researchers are not calling that a habit anymore. They are calling it a symptom of a system deliberately engineered into every app on your screen. Why you cannot stop scrolling, even when you want to. Why putting your phone down triggers something that feels like withdrawal. Why knowing all of this still does not help. The hidden reason starts with a brain chemical you think you understand. You do not. You pull the device from your pocket before you even register the desire to do so. It happens in elevator rides, at red lights, and in the quiet seconds between tasks. This reflex has integrated so smoothly into your afternoon that it no longer feels like a choice. It is a modern tic, a silent muscle spasm of the hand. Blaming yourself for a lack of willpower misses the point. The habit is the natural outcome of an environment designed to keep your eyes locked to the glass. But what actually triggers that hand to reach out? Forget the lectures on self-control. Your screen time is not a personal failure. The impulse to check your phone is systematic. To understand this quiet epidemic of digital addiction, we have to answer 3 precise questions. Why can I not stop scrolling, even when it makes me miserable? Did someone design this to be addictive? And what concrete science-backed steps actually work? This investigation bypasses moral outrage to dissect the biological machinery holding your attention hostage. You are caught in a highly engineered dopamine trap. But to break the cycle, we must first correct a fundamental misunderstanding about how this brain chemical actually functions. Popular culture brands dopamine as a chemical reward, the warm splash of satisfaction you feel when you achieve a goal. In reality, the molecule drives anticipation, not satisfaction. At the University of Michigan, researcher Kent Berridge identified a fundamental division in the brain's reward pathways, the split between wanting and liking. Liking is the brief pleasure of consuming a reward. Wanting is the primal motivation to pursue it. Dopamine fuels the wanting. Evolutionarily, this system kept our ancestors foraging. The chemical spike occurred during the search, driving the hunt long before any food was secured. To exploit this biological engine, modern interfaces utilize classic behaviorist principles. In the mid-20th century, B.F. Skinner discovered that test subjects press a lever most aggressively when the reward delivery is unpredictable. This variable ratio schedule is the exact mechanism that powers slot machines. In 2006, interface designer Asa Raskin eliminated the natural stopping points of the web by creating the infinite scroll. By loading content without pause, the interface turned into an endless lever. The brain remains trapped in a state of constant expectation, chasing a prize that is always one swipe away. And this loop was designed with absolute intent. The loop on your screen is a deliberate product of corporate architecture. Inside tech giants, dedicated growth teams operate under a single relentless metric, which is to maximize daily active users and stretch session times. Former Facebook monetization director Tim Kendall revealed that success was defined entirely by keeping eyes on the screen, a necessity when human attention is the exact commodity sold to advertisers. This design was built with clinical self-awareness. Founding president Sean Parker admitted in 2017 that the platform was explicitly engineered to exploit vulnerabilities in human psychology, delivering a little dopamine hit every time someone likes or comments. To perfect this extraction, platforms run thousands of continuous A/B tests. Red notification badges, variable delivery timing, and algorithmic feeds like TikTok's highly optimized recommendation engine, are systematically tuned to keep you from putting the phone down. Whistleblower Frances Haugen's 2021 leaks confirmed this structural focus. Internal documents proved executives knew their algorithms drove compulsive behavior and harmed teenage mental health. Yet, they repeatedly prioritized engagement metrics over user safety. If these systems were built to strip away our agency, what does that persistent architecture actually do to our minds over time? The impact is physical. You feel a phantom vibration against your leg, reach down, and find an empty pocket. That phantom ring is a sensory hallucination experienced by over 60% of heavy users in clinical studies. Your brain has rewired itself to expect a signal that is not there. According to the American Psychological Association's 2025 survey, 62% of adults experience acute anxiety when separated from their phones. For millennials and Gen Z who entered adulthood with these devices, the mental health toll is highly measurable. At 21, a college senior scrolls under her bed sheets at 3 a.m, watching her grades slip as blue light and mental arousal delay sleep by hours. By day, the feed acts as an engine of comparison. A 28-year-old professional refreshes her screen, absorbing curated highlights of peers. This constant benchmarking fuels a quiet dread. 40% of employed adults report that online comparison amplifies their job security anxieties. Our collective focus is fracturing. Microsoft recorded a drop in the average attention span from 12 seconds in 2000 to under 8 seconds today, eroding our capacity for reading, sustained focus, and deep work. We doom scroll through crises and curated lives long after boredom has turned into exhaustion, leaving us with fragmented minds and a persistent low-grade panic. If these systems have rewritten our daily physical biology, what happens to the mind when we finally try to disconnect? Reclaiming your attention requires turning these design mechanics against themselves. First, use dopamine fasting as a practical tool for cue reduction, rather than expecting a literal biological reset. Start with a weekly digital fast of 4 to 8 hours. It will feel uncomfortable, and your hand will instinctively twitch for the screen. Second, implement notification batching to lower cortisol stress. Schedule alerts to deliver during 3 set 30-minute blocks each day, keeping emergency exceptions active. You will still feel a persistent phantom worry about what you are missing. Third, build analog replacements to engage real-world reward pathways. Swap late-night browsing for climbing, woodworking, or playing an instrument to rewrite your cue routine reward loops, even when your tired mind resists the physical effort. Fourth, introduce intentional friction to disrupt automaticity. Switch your display to grayscale, hide apps in nested folders, and require a manual PIN to open them. Within days, you will likely catch yourself entering the passcode without thinking. Fifth, enforce a one-screen evening rule 90 minutes before bed, replacing the screen with a paper book or low-lit conversation to restore natural melatonin levels. Expect occasional slips, but accept them without viewing the relapse as a personal failure. These personal defense tactics are essential, but they are a fragile shield against a multi-billion-dollar industry engineered to conquer your willpower. If you want to understand how this constant digital noise reshapes our collective mental health, watch our next video on why anxiety has reached epidemic levels in 2026. Subscribe to join our investigation into the systems controlling modern life. The fight is moving from personal willpower to systemic defiance. Globally, Regulators are stepping in, using the European Union's Digital Services Act and aggressive U.S. Senate hearings to challenge algorithmic exploitation. Meanwhile, a quiet cultural revolt is underway. The very engineers who built these loops now restrict their own children's screen time, while advocates like the Center for Humane Technology push for design ethics over profit. If our minds were systematically captured by design, what would an alternative look like? One engineered for human connection rather than addiction. Compulsive scrolling is the natural result of a corporate business model engineered specifically to exploit human psychology. You are fighting a multi-billion-dollar system built by thousands of engineers whose sole metric of success is capturing your attention. Until the industry changes its incentives, the trap remains active. To understand how this relentless digital noise feeds into a broader mental health crisis, watch our video on why anxiety has reached epidemic levels in 2026. Subscribe to join our investigation into the hidden forces controlling modern life. The battle on your screen isn't a test of your willpower. It's a war engineered against your biology. To see how this constant friction is reshaping our minds, watch our deep dive into why anxiety has reached epidemic levels in 2026. Subscribe to join our next investigation.